Good morning, guys. My name is Chijoke from Evidex Technology, and today I'll be teaching us how to build a digital timer. And this will be a project for those who have completed basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Alright, so let's dive into it. So, right now, I created a folder called a digital timer on my desktop, and I have imported that folder into VS Code, as you can see. Now we have three empty files. So CSS is for styling the HTML and JavaScript is for adding interactivity to our HTML. Okay, so we have you can see we have run this on the live server on our browser. So we have an empty page here now, listening to our local port. So I want to keep these two side by side. I want to keep them both side by side. So let's start. So first of all, I'm going to import my boilerplate. Go to my HTML and import my boilerplate. Then let's start. All right, so in here now I'm going to create a container called a timer container. And inside the container, because right now we want to define how our HTML will be like, how the content will be laid. So inside the digital timer container, we're going to have a timer, a div called timer, and also a div called hour container. Hit enter to create that. All right, so in here I'm going to have a span called hour itself, and inside the span called hours I will have a double zero here. So if I save this, okay, so I'm going to change this to, hold on, minute, and change this to second. All right, so haven't done this, doesn't display here, so let's see why. Let's take it down and run it again. All right, so we have this guy here. And so right now, I think that is basically what we need for now in our HTML. Okay, and equally want to add maybe like a separator here. Separate them. Just add them here for now. Okay. All right. So let's work on our CSS. And to begin our CSS, you can see right now, whatever we do will not apply, right? Background color, say red, it won't apply. Why? Because we've not linked our CSS. So we're going to link our CSS here inside the head. So link style.css. All right, so the background color should apply, but right now we are not interested in background colors. All right, so I'm going to remove margin and padding from all elements. Margin and padding, that's a universal selector. Remove the margin and padding. And I'm going to target my timer container, and I'll give it a width of about, let's give it a background color. So background color of tomato, sorry. So we'll give it a width of about 50% to get it to give it just 50% of size. Then we'll take it to the center by using margin 30px from the top and bottom, auto left and right, so it will center the div. Then we add a border radius, maybe 30px to round the edge. All right, that's good. Then we are going to pad the container a little bit, so padding will be there too. Maybe 30px of padding all round. Okay. Now you can see that these are div elements from our HTML. These are div elements, so their default behavior is display block. So I'm going to change it to display flex so that they will fall on a single line. So I will say display flex, put them on a single line. Then I want to space them. So I want to space them. So I'm going to use justify content space evenly. I can use gap, but right now I want to space them. Okay. Then I want to add a font size. I want to increase their font size. So font size, say 52 px. Then I'll add a font weight to make it thicker. Font weight of about 600. All right, so that is basically it. If I don't like the font face, I can change the font family here. Maybe use something else. Use Roboto. I think I have Roboto here. Sans serif font. Okay, so I've changed the face of that font. All right, I think basically this is what I need. Okay, I can target timer itself, which is the individual divs. Give them a class called timer so that I can select all of them at a go. All right, so I'm going to give it a background color too, and I'm thinking of maybe like a white. Let's see how it goes. Okay, white padding of well 15 px all around. Okay, and border radius to round the border 20 px. Border radius 20 px. How does it look? Okay. Well, I'm not sure of the outcome. These values I'm placing here. That's why I have this guy here. So I will check and see if it is fine. All right, you can see that these guys are not in alignment. They are not in vertical alignment. These guys are not centered. So to do that, I will go back to my flex container and vertically align them to the center by using the align item center. All right. So this is I'm now in the center, but okay. So then we don't want to run so many CSS. Let's just keep it as simple as we can. Still maintain that tomato. All right. Okay, so as simple as we can, like we said. Okay, pardon me, please. I think this separator, I want to give them a color. I'm thinking of giving them a color of white. All right. Okay, so I'm done with a little bit of CSS box shadow. Add a box shadow. What do we do? What do we do? 5. Okay, 0 for the horizontal x-axis. We use 5 px for the y-axis. Then the opacity 5 px, 5 px, and the color is kind of a grayish color. So we have a small shadow applied to this. Okay, sorry for the CSS. So I'm done for now. Basically, we've gotten the CSS. We need a little bit of CSS. Now we're going to add JavaScript to make this count. Okay, so this is my JavaScript file, and I'm here to link it to my HTML. So I'll do that by adding the script tag, script source, my script.js. All right. So right now, what I want to do is I want to grab this guy here, and this guy here, because these are the guys that will be counting. And right now, if we look into this, the closest to these guys are the hours, minutes, and seconds span inline container. So I'm going to select them. So I will have const hour elements document.query. So this is used to for every type of selector, but just to select one, any type of element, just one. So repeat the same for hold down my alt. Second. All right, I've selected these guys. Now I now have them in JavaScript. I can actually change their content. So if I say our element dot text content equal to 20, now JavaScript has changed the content. You can see that it now says 20. Okay, so basically that is that. So the next thing we're going to do is create a variable in JavaScript. So we have let ours. This will be the sorry, this will be the variable that actually gets updated. So right now we have hours, we have minutes set to 0, and we have seconds set to 0 also. Now, how do we make this thing clock? Now there is a JavaScript method that handles this. So we call it a set interval, and this set interval calls this function at specified interval, and that interval is in milliseconds. So 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. So I'm saying every 1 seconds, please call this function. So let's see an example. I want to console.log timer. So if I run this, if I right click on my browser, go to inspect, you see that every 1 minute it will be printed on the screen. So let's check the console. So you can see every 1 minute we are getting a timer. This function is being called and it's simply printing counter. All right, so but that is not what we want to do. We want every 1 minute to call on seconds and increment seconds. Then after incrementing seconds, we want to go to the second element and write into the text content area whatever we got. So we're going to write this second. So we are saying every 1 minute you are going to increase the value of seconds, and when you do that, go to the seconds element in the HTML and write that value into it. Okay, so let's see what happened. Let's clear this. We no longer need this. So if we save that now, you can see that our counter is already counting. Okay, very simple. So we have a set interval which we call a function every 1 seconds, which is 1000 milliseconds. And what it does is to increase the seconds and to print it in our HTML. So right now we are getting something like this. Okay, so basically if I refresh, you see that when we are counting less than 10, you can see what is happening now. We should be having 2 values, but we just have only 1 value. All right, so we can add to this. We can make that happen. Let me refresh again. We can make that happen so that when we are counting less than 10, there will be 2 values here, 0, 1, 0, 2, stuff like that. So what we will do is, what we'll simply do is to write a ternary operator here. Let's not forget that ternary operator takes a condition, and when the condition is true, we do this. Else, we do this. Okay? So your condition, and if the condition happens to evaluate to true, we do this. Else, this is the if, and we do this. This is the else, and we do this. All right, so we're going to take this same idea here. We're going to say if second is less than 10, we are going to say add 0 plus the seconds. Else, we simply print second. So we are saying if seconds is less than 10, that's the if statement, append 0 as a string in front of that counter, else just print the counter. That means if it's above 9, which is 10 and above, it will not add anything. So let's see what happens. You can see now that guy is working fine when he gets to 10. All right, so that is neat. That's a neat job. Okay, so let's continue, and let me reduce this timer so that it will be very fast. So let's make it 100 and increase it very fast. So let's get to 59, 60 and see what is happening. So when it gets to 59, it went up, it kept counting up. That is not what we want. We want when it gets to 60, it will stop, it will reset, Abby. So to do that, we'll write an if statement that says if second is equal to 60, yes, we want to set seconds back to 0. So this is just a one line if statement, so I can do it on a single line. So I'm saying if second is equal to 60, we want to set seconds back to 0. So we are making sure that seconds will not go above that. So okay, so you can see it's working now. All right. So that is working. So we are done with the seconds implementation. Now I think we just want to do the same for our minutes. So now here, if this guy gets to that 60, I think this is not the only one line we want to write, because when he gets to 60, we want to um, activate the minutes, right? So we reset to 01, then we'll activate minutes. So we set minutes plus plus, then we go ahead and write minutes element dot text content equal to minutes. So the same process will repeat again, but this time remember we will check if minute is less than 10. If yes, we will do 0 plus minutes. Else, if true, we do this, else we do minutes, just like we did earlier. So let's see. All right, so this is now working now. So when it gets to 60, it increases this guy. All right, so it keeps on doing it. I will make sure that when it gets to 59, it doesn't go above. It doesn't go above 60. So to do that, we will also write our statement here that says if minutes equal what's it called 60, we equally want to open up this and set minutes back to 0. Then we will call on hours plus plus. I will repeat the same process again. Hour dot hour elements dot text content equal to, if hour is less than 10, if so, add 0 at the front, then before the hour, else just print the hour. All right, so if we do this, we have a complete timer. So let's reduce this to maybe say 5 to make it faster. Okay. All right, so you can see it's counting. Let's see if the hour will pick up. Okay, we are almost there. All right, so I think our digital timer is now working. Okay, so I will now change the timer back. Okay, mind you, because I think this one too will be 24 hours. You know that the hours will not go beyond 24 hours. So for the hours, I will say if hours equal for 24 hours, to calculate 24 hours should be 60 seconds times 60 minutes will give you 24 hours, right? Okay, yes, because we cannot simply say 24. That means if hour is equal, I'll put it in the bracket, let JavaScript do the mathematics. 60, that's 3,600, but we allow them to do the mathematics. If it is so, hour should be set back to 0. Okay, so we are not handling day, weeks, and stuff. So that is all. Okay, so basically, this is the code to achieve a digital timer here. And this is the outcome on the browser here. Okay, so that is a simple digital counter we just built there. Thank you for your time and patience.